Welcome back to Rare Oakleys. Back in the day, you are going to know this, most of you are, Oakley produced watches. They quit producing watches in, I believe, 2015. Well, now we're going to unofficially unbox one of the coolest watches that they had, which was the Hollowpoint. Not only that, but we got the red dial, which I believe is the rarest of all the Hollowpoints. Before we check this out, make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, check out our other videos because we have a ton of fantastic content that you're only going to see right here. And don't forget to share this video with other people so they'll have a chance to enjoy it as well. Let's get into this. Right over here, we got it in the box, the Hollowpoint. This was the original box. Come on in, camera lady, so we can check the label. This is how you would get this if you were to order it online, which I did. Hollowpoint red, and this is the red dial. There's the SKU there. Let's zoom in on that SKU number so they know what it is, or the item number. I can't quite read it from there, but I also got it down here, right there. And they would put a seal on the box, as you can see here, so when that seal is broken, you know that the box was open. Well, the seal is also here as well with the SKU, but of course, this has already been taken out. Come on in a little bit so we can see this. And presentation, I'd say, is pretty good overall. Very good, actually, with a little bit of an exception, and we'll get into that here shortly. You've got this wrap on the outer box, and I say outer box because, yeah, there's an outer box. There's also an inner box. So what's the first thing we notice? The Oakley ellipse, or the Oakley icon. Cardboard box, not too... well, pretty sturdy, I would say, but not really the presentation box itself. And then they've got foam here covering this up. Now look at this. Got the Oakley medallion embedded in the box. Now the actual presentation box, I believe, is wood. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's wood. And you got the Instruments of Time medallion. This medallion cannot be removed. And later on, and I wish I had another example to share with you guys, but they had another medallion with gears. And maybe we'll take a look at something like that in a future episode, even though I don't officially own one. But notice here, when you open this box up, they did the packaging overall, they did it very well because the front flap folds down. You've got this hole here. Now what that hole is for, many of you are going to know. It's to open the actual presentation box, the little button. So they've got a hole there so you don't have to worry about the box being too small. Also, it's worth noting, you've got your warranty registration here, and also an instruction manual that I'm pretty sure that no one ever reads, right? Kind of glance through that. I don't think this has ever been opened. And it's in, I believe, a number of different languages. Yep, we got a number of different languages. But we'll set that back there for now. Not too important. But this watch was released more than, actually, I think it was about 15 years ago. The retail, I thought it was $1,500, but it was $1,995. So basically $2,000 plus tax. Something else you want to note about this this box here, the presentation box, you can see the little edge here, the notch carved out on the back. So that's when the top opens. It actually has room, right, to open up. And felt on the bottom, and I like that. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of this. Case made in China, but it is what it is, right? You can take the sticker off, but the case is still made in China. But it's got felt on the bottom, which is nice. So when you put it on a hard surface, such as the countertop here, it doesn't scratch or scrape, and it tends to give it a little more friction so it doesn't move as easily either. But let's open this up. Oh, you know what? Before we open this up, we got a sponsor, guys, today. The sponsor is my awesome book. If you haven't read this yet, you need to check it out. Second best book ever written. I lived in a homeless shelter in high school, still retired early at the age of 46. I get more free stuff than anybody I know, totally legit, reading my book. Even my wife, who's my biggest critic, loved my book. And if my wife says my book is great, trust me, it's great. Links are going to be below in the description for this. Do not miss out. I promise, even if you hate reading, you'll love this book. But let's open this up. And of course, you press the button, it kind of pops open too, which is kind of cool. Boom, there you go. And again, this little divot here on the back has the hinges on it, and it allows the box to actually open. And when you did purchase this brand new, we got a good angle there. Maybe, can we go up a little bit higher? Can you elevate the camera? Yeah, there you go, get a top-down view. When you did purchase this brand new, they would also include this foam to kind of protect, not necessarily the face of the watch, but the top, right? Because on the inside, you've got the Oakley logo or the Oakley ellipse. And this is padded as well, which I like that. The top is padded. And then you got the watch. Now, this watch has never been worn. It's brand spanking new. I did, oh, you know what? It looks like oh, you know, I think these links are from, actually you can see, we got two of them here. I think these links are from the watch that I'm wearing right now, but hang on, we'll get into that here shortly. One thing I do want to note before checking out the watch is the case. Look at the case, guys. Can we see this? Can we zoom in on this right here? Can you do a top down and zoom in on that so that they can see that? Look at all of these little marks here. Now, I'm not particularly pleased with how Oakley did this case. The materials, the wood is fine. The metal medallion is great. But this on the inside, it's some kind of maybe a composite, a rubberized compound, plastic rubberized compound. As you can see, it scratches, it dents very easily. I think that Oakley could have and should have used a much better material for this, because once those scratches or dents in there, they can't be removed. They can't be sanded out. They can't be hidden. They're there, and they look, as you can see, they look really tacky. They look really nasty. So I'll be honest, you guys probably know this, but I am extremely meticulous with all the collection. I don't know how this case got like this. But if your fingernails brush up against that or scratch it, the scratches are there permanently. It's worse than scratching iridium lenses on your Oakley sunglasses, to be honest. So take note of that. Be careful with your cases, guys, if you do have one or if you do pick one up in the future. But Oakley would put this plastic piece on the dial here on the face. By the way, titanium construction, titanium case back, titanium bracelet. So even though this is a larger watch, very lightweight, you can see it's got the chronographs, which is a nice touch. It's got these lines. I don't know if that's approximately a 45-degree angle. I really like the aesthetics of the watch. And I do like, too, on the sides, the perimeter of the dial here, just the way, if you move it in the light, these little divots, I don't know what you'd call them, around the perimeter of the watch dial, they actually reflect the light when you move it around. So very aesthetically pleasing watch. It also has chronographs. Let's take this off of this little band here. Yeah, so this thing is brand new. And this is how you can tell if you've worn the watch. Technically, I guess there's a little sticker on there, and it's got that red line, and that red line supposedly disappears when the watch is worn. I thought the battery was removed from this. Maybe not. Huh. Maybe I didn't remove the battery. I thought I did. And I would have done that. I did that for most of the watches. I removed the battery to kind of save the internal components in case the battery would leak over many years. I know I did that for most of the watches, but either the battery is removed or it's just dead, one of the two. But this plastic face was on there to protect it. But I'm going to show you the chronograph features because either, again, the battery is dead or removed here. Wow, look at this, I don't know what you call this little holder for the watch. Look at how chewed up it is on the edges there. Look at that, guys. Again, not the best materials. Oakley could have used something much more durable. I wish they would have. Whoa. As you can even see, when I'm trying to push this in here, I'm literally peeling. The materials are starting to peel right off. Look at this. Peeling right off as I try to push it in. I'm going to go from this side because this side's already peeled pretty badly. I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point too much, right? Wow, maybe I shouldn't have taken this out. It's just just peeling all over the place. Kind of like some of the Oakley lenses when they delaminate. Anyway, let me clean this up here. Sorry, guys. We got a mess here. A little bit of a mess. Give me 2 seconds. All right. So let me show you how the chronograph actually works on the one that I'm wearing, because this is on. Let's zoom in on this a little bit for the audience. So you press the top button here, and yes, I am right-handed, but I just wear my watch on my right hand. I just like doing that. But you press the top button here, and you can see the chronograph on the bottom spinning. And if you want to stop it, of course, you press it again. Reset is down here. And you can see the watch resets. Now, I have never personally used the chronograph other than messing around with it just briefly like that, so it's not that big of a deal. The cool thing about this watch also that I want to show you guys, if you do need to adjust the band, you don't need to go to a jeweler. You don't need to really go to a watch professional. You can do it yourself, DIY. All you need is the Allen wrench. Now, what size Allen wrench? I don't know. This one has all different sizes on it, but it's this size, whatever this size happens to be. Come on in so we can show these guys. And this is really cool. Just like the time tank, aka minute machine, you can adjust the band with the Allen wrench. And I believe it's the same size Allen wrench for the time tank or the Hollowpoint. Wow, I really wrapped these things up good in plastic here, didn't I? I mean, this is like... I didn't take these out in preparation for the video, so sorry. But these are the links that were removed from this band so that it could fit my wrist. But all you do, of course, is you put the Allen wrench in there, and of course, counterclockwise to loosen it, clockwise to tighten it. That means left is loose, right is tight. And you pull out these little pins. Are they pins? Let's zoom in on that so we can show the audience. Can we zoom in? Zoom way in so we can see a close-up of that. But that's what it looks like. Wow. Let's keep it in focus. Wow, they can see on my dirty fingernails. But there you go. That's the pin with the threads. Be careful, guys, not to strip the threads, but this is how you do it. You just put it in there, right? You want to tighten it. You want to loosen it. I'm going to tighten this back up, obviously. So very easy to adjust the links in the band. Overall, this is an amazing watch. I really like the red dial. I like all of them, actually. And you know what I like about this, too? Again, hit the bell icon, check out our other episodes. But we also have the orange dial. And by the way, they only offered 4 colors in the Hollowpoint. The red dial, the orange dial, the white, and the black. That's it, those 4. Which I was kind of glad, because at $2,000 a pop, things start getting expensive real quick. But, forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Do not forget to hit that bell icon, and we will see you next time on Rare Oakleys.